Guys, so today we're going to start on linear functions 8.2. So basically it's a function that forms a straight line, hence the word linear. All right, so a linear equation, we also call them linear functions, but equation just makes sense because we're using our variables, is any equation whose graph is a line. It has to be a straight line. It can't be curved. It has to be just a straight line. So we sometimes call it a linear function or a linear equation, but they mean the same thing. All right, so how we go about doing this is first we make a table. So we're going to use this equation right here, and we're going to make a table. You can pick any values for x you want. I try to pick low numbers, and I always pick 0. You don't have to. I just pick numbers that are easiest. So you can pick any numbers. I'm going to pick -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, and 4. You can pick anything you want. I typically say to choose between 4 and 5 numbers, and I always pick 0. All right, so now you have your x values. We have to find the y values, and this is pretty easy to do. So it says y equals -1/2 x plus 3. So here I just chose x values, so I'm going to plug in my x. So y equals -1/2, times -2 plus 3. And you can use a calculator, but you don't have to. So -1 times -2 is 1. 1 plus 3 is 4. So my y is equal to 4. So now I have a coordinate pair. -2, 4. Because I picked -2, and when I plugged in -2 for x, I got 4. And you're going to do that all the way through on all these numbers. And you can use a calculator if you need to. So y equals, using the same equation, -1/2 times -1 plus 3. So -1/2 times 1 is 1/2. Plus 3 is 3.5. So now I have my coordinate pair. -1, 3.5. I'm going to let you do the rest of these 0, 1, 2, and 4. So figure those out. So hopefully you got the same answers as me. 0, 3, 1, 2.5, 2, 2, and 4, 1. You should have solved them right here. And then all you're going to do is go graph them. So you're going to take your coordinate pairs that you found, the ones in green, and you are going to go graph them on the coordinate grid down here. So 2, 4. Now these lines are hard to see, so you can just guesstimate. 2, 4. Oh, -2, 4. Sorry, guys. Whoops. -2, 4. And then -1, 3.5. 0, 3. They should be making a straight line if you've done it correctly. 1, 2.5, 2, 2, 4, 1. And then you're just going to connect them with a straight line. And then the question says, determine if the equation is a function. Well, we know it's a function because it would pass the vertical line test. So we would say yes, because it passes the vertical line test, or each domain only gave us one range. And we know that because it formed a straight line. So that's really all there is to that. You want to make a graph, you want to make a chart, then graph it, and then determine if it's a function. All right, let's do one on the back together, and then you can do the other two on the back. All right, so y equals 2x plus 1. So first you're going to make your table. It needs to have 3 slots. X, Y, X, Y. And then in this middle part, I always put the equation so I know which equation I'm using. And you want to pick 4 to 5 numbers for X. I always try to keep low, and I always choose 2 negative. So -2, -1, 0, 1, 2. All right. Now we're just going to plug it in. So y equals, instead of x here, I'm going to use -2 plus 1. So -2 times 2 is -4. -4 plus 1 is negative 3. So this is negative 2, negative 3. You're going to do that all the way down. Then you're going to graph it. And thankfully, all of these are going to be functions because they should form straight lines. So you complete the rest of that, and then you can come back and check. All right, guys. So hopefully yours matches mine. My coordinates are in blue, and I plotted them in blue, connected them, and yes, that is a function because of the vertical line test. All right. I want you all to do this one and this one, example 2 and 3, and we'll check those tomorrow. When you're done with those, come back and watch the next part of the video. All right, so sometimes it's not going to be pretty where y is by itself, so we're going to have to get y by itself. So you're basically trying to get it where it's m, a number in front of x, then plus another number. That's what you're trying to get to. So if you notice on example 1, y is not by itself. And the only way we can make those tables and things, you could do it this way, but the simpler way is to just get y by itself. So same concept here, like from chapter 7, you're just going to draw the balance bar. And this one's pretty easy. So we basically need to get y all by itself. I need to get y all alone. So if you notice, the 3x is hanging out with the y. So we're going to subtract 3x from both sides. We're moving those y's around. All right, so when you subtracted the 3x, you can't take 3x from negative 5. But these become a 0. Whew. So now we have y alone, and we have negative 3x minus 5, or negative 3x plus negative 5, however you like to look at it. So you want to move your x's to the other side. That's what we did first. And then, thankfully, there was nothing in front of the y, so we just left our y alone. But if there was, you would want to divide by the coefficient the number next to the y on both sides. And we'll do one like that. And then you want to leave your x value as a fraction. So we'll do a few steps like that. And now that you have it like this, now you can do your table. So your xy table. Then you have negative 3x minus 5. And you can choose your numbers and graph and all that fun stuff. So now you can do your negative 2, your negative 1, 0, 1, 2. And we're not going to spend as much time on that because you just did that. But the main point here is, can you write these where y equals? So don't worry about doing this part quite yet. We'll do that tomorrow. But flip to the back and let's do one more like this. All right, so let's do example 3. Let's get that to be y equals. So negative 3x plus 2y equals 6. You still want to draw that balance bar. All right, so first things first, you want to move your x's. So if it's negative 3x, I'm going to add 3x to both sides. You still want to make that 0 pair. So those become a big fat 0. 2y equals 3x plus 6. If you notice, I always put the x in front. You don't have to. That just makes it easier when it comes time to graph. And now if you'll see, there's still a 2. So we're going to divide everything by that 2. Divide that by 2, divide that by 2, divide that by 2. So 2 divided by 2 just leaves us with y, or 1y. 3 divided by 2, just leave it as a fraction. So it's 3 over 2x plus 6 divided by 2 is 3. So now we have it as y equals. That's all I want you to do on this side. We're going to work on this tomorrow, but hopefully you got y equals 3 over 2x plus 3. You don't need to do any of the examples on the back. All right, watch as many times as you need.